For this class, we'll be needing our size chart because that's where we're taking our measurement from. We're doing like a size 6 pattern. So the measurement we are going to be needing is the bust measurements, the hip measurements, like the waist measurements, waist length measurements, the back measurement. Don't forget that in the back measurement, we are taking size 35, or we are taking the biggest figure, which is 35. The chest measurement, the top arm is for the sleeve, so we don't need that yet. So part of the constant measurement we are using is the 0.0 to CB, the back neck width, the armhole, depth of armhole, the back hop, and the dart. So these measurements, they are the, okay, I've already ticked it. So they are the constant measurement we are using for the size 6 pattern. And then we're also going to need the waist measurement and the shoulder measurement. So I've written it out here. So we don't have the bust point on the chart. We don't have the bust point and the under bust point on the chart. But you're supposed to measure that on your clients. So that's the only measurement that is not on the chart. And then I now wrote the constant measurement that you're supposed to need, which is the 0.0 to CB, the back neck width, the depth of armhole, the back up, and the dart. So these are all the measurements that we'll need for this class. And then I'm going to be using this marker instead of pencil. So please, when you are practicing, use your pencil. I'm going to need this ruler. I got it from AliExpress. I'll put the link in the video. This is 50 cm. And then we're also going to need this 30 cm ruler, and we are going to need our curved ruler. I got this from Amazon. I'll also put the link, but it took so long. It took longer than the one I ordered from AliExpress, so I would advise that you get this from AliExpress. It's easier. So I'm going to check which is bigger between the bust and the hip measurement. So if your bust is bigger than your hips, it's going to be bust divided by 2 plus 7. But if your hips is bigger than the bust, it's going to be hips divided by 2 plus 5. So this is very important. So now we're going to check which is bigger. So now our hips measurement from what we've written here is 90, and our bust measurement is 84. So that means it's going to be hips, because the hips is bigger here. So it's going to be hips, which is 90 divided by 2 plus 5. So that's going to be 45 plus 5. 45 plus 5, and then that is going to be 50. So this is the measurement, this 50 cm, and don't forget that we are working with cm. This is the first measurement we are going to do. So with this measurement, we'll transfer it to our paper, and then here we are going to start from the tip of our paper here, and then I'll mark 50 cm, which is like the same measurement as our ruler. So I'm going to measure that all the way down. So here we're having another 50 cm all the way down. So after doing that, the next measurement we'll need is our 0.0 to CB measurement, which is 2.5. 0.0 to CB, which is 2.5 for size 6. And then, so that 0.0 to CB, which is 2.5, we'll measure it from the tip of our paper here, starting from here. We're going to measure 2.5. So I'm doing 2 dots just to make sure that I'm having straight line. So we've already done our 2.5, which is the O to CB. And then now the next measurement we are going to need is the back neck width measurement, which is 6.5. On this O to CB measurement, that's from here to here, we're going to measure our 6.5. Can you see it? So now, so from that 6.5 here, we'll measure 2 cm constant measurement. 2 cm constant. So the next thing we are going to do now is to measure another 3 cm constants. All these constants, they are not on the measurement charts, but you get used to it. So this 3 cm constant is going to start from the back neck width line. So 3 cm constants, and then on this 3 cm constants, we are going to measure our back measurement. So now let me make this clear. What we are doing now is our back. We've not started with the front at all. So when we are done with the back, we'll do the front. So basically this video, because I don't want it to be too long, is going to be for the back drafting, and then we'll do another video for the front. So on this 3 cm constant now, we are going to measure our back measurement. So our back is 34/35, and I mentioned in my other video that you always go for the bigger number. So I'm using 35 here. And then don't forget that we are doing half of the back now. So that means 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5. So now we can start using our small ruler. So 17.5, this is 17.5. And then on this 17.5, we'll now go out by 2 cm constant. So we'll extend this line here by another 2 cm. And then we'll connect this 2 cm that we went up here to this 2 cm that we extended out here. That is it. So the next thing we are going to do is to check for our depth of armhole measurement. So our depth of armhole measurement is 20.5 for size 6. The 20.5, which is the depth of armhole, is going to be measured from our back neck width measurement. So you place your ruler on your back neck width measurement, and then you measure 20.5. So now, this 20.5 measurements, which is our depth of armhole, is going to be measured all the way to this line. So now this line is called the center front line. Which is also known as the CF. So how do we take these measurements all the way down if we don't have this here? So don't forget that we use this measurement to measure this, but we don't have this measurement. We don't have this line. We don't have it here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check what this point is from the tip of my paper. Since the tip of the paper is all the way down, so from here to here was 20.5, but from the tip of the paper to this line we have 23. So now I'm going to come over to this side and measure 23, and then connect both lines together. So I'm going to explain this again. You'll be sure of what I did. So now we measure the depth of armhole. For size 6 measurements, the depth of armhole is 20.5. And we'll measure the depth of armhole from the back neck width. You can see 20.5. But we need to measure this 20.5 all the way. So I just went to the tip of my paper to know what I have on this line, which is 23, because I have taken my ruler from this point to the tip of my paper. Now I have 23. And so I'm just going to come to the center front line and put my ruler onto the tip of the paper here, and also mark the 23, and then I connected the line. I hope we understand now. So now the next thing we are going to do is to measure our back measurement on this line. And don't forget that our back measurement was 35 divided by 2 was 17.5, and then this is it. So we are going to connect this 17.5 to this 17.5 here. And then next is the backup measurements. So for size 6, our backup is 5. So the backup measurement is going to start from after measuring the back, you measure the backup, which was 5.5. Let me be sure, which was 5. So now we are going to open our ruler, and then we want to measure a 45-degree 3 cm diagonal line here. So what we are going to do is to use our ruler to measure 45 degrees. So now I'm placing my ruler to 90, making sure that this is on 90, this line, making sure that this line is on 90. So I'll check for where 45 degree is, which is here. And then I'll measure my 45 degree. So now this is a 3 cm constant, and this is there because we want to draw the armhole line. And then another thing we will do is to find the midpoint of this line and this line. So from here to here we have 17.5. So 17.5 divided by 2 is 8.75. 8.75. So now with this we can draw our curve. Like this. So this is our armhole curve for the back. And then the next thing we are going to do is to draw our waist length measurements. And then our waist length for size 6 is 36. So now the waist length measurements is going to be drawn from this O to CB, or back neck width line. And then we have 36. So here is 36. And then this waist length is also going all the way to the center front. So what we can do now is to measure. We can either do it the same way we measured this. We measure 36 from here to here, and then we'll take our ruler to the tip of the paper, and then we have 38.5. So I'll just take it to the tip of the paper here, 38.5, and then I'll connect both lines together. So after measuring our waist length line, we'll measure our hip line. So basically our hip line has a range. So for the hip line measurement, the range from the waistline to the hip line measurement is 20 cm to 24 cm. So that means you can use 20 cm, you can use 21 cm, you can use 22 cm, 23 cm, or 24 cm. So most times I just use 22 cm because 22 is like the midpoint between 20 and 24. But there are people that their waist to hip ratio is longer. For those type of people, I use 24 if I am not able to take their measurements. But if I'm able to take their measurement, I just use their exact waist to hip measurement. And then we said 22. So the hip line is going to be measured from the waistline measurement. 22. So this is the mark here, but I'm not going to draw it now because my table is not getting there. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to draw my true waistline. So my true waistline, to get my true waistline, I'll come down from the waistline. Now this is my waistline. I'll come down from my waistline by 1.5 cm, which is also a constant. So this is my true waistline. And then I'll connect that here. Can you see? So now let's draw the hip line measurements. And then I'll just extend this 50 cm that we did earlier to this. So now we want to get the midpoint of the hip line. So we'll just measure what we have from here to what we have from here. I already know it. So if you've been following the class, you know that it is 50 cm because we got 50 cm by dividing hip divided by 2 plus 5. But I'll still measure it so that we all can follow up with the class. And then you can see that from here to here is 50 cm. So to get the midpoint of 50 cm is simply 50 divided by 2, which is 25. So here is 25. So basically, from here to here is for the back, from here to here is for the front. And then I'll connect my backup measurements or backup points to the hip line. And then let us label our pattern. So this is all for the back pattern. So now this is our side back, so which is also known as the SB. This is the center back, which is also known as the CB. Okay. And then this is the armhole. This is the back line. And this is the neck. And that is all for the back pattern.